Uptick Watch Reviews, 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 Uptick Watch Reviews.
Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, collection review for Pavel in Russia. Привет, Pavel, как дела? Yes, I used to go to Russia. I had a girlfriend when I was about 23, 24 years old. My first job, I would spend most of my salary going to Moscow and calling her. It was lovely and romantic. We met actually in Washington, D.C. Yes, if you can believe it. I went there for professional training and we met there. Alright, so Pavel has this collection. He's got a Casio G-Shock GWG 1000 1A3, a very functional watch. He's got a Seiko SPB 079 that you might know as the SBDC 063. It was, I believe, what was considered the Marine Master 200, and then they made another one last year, a bit closer looking to the Marine Master 300. Very cool watch, but he mentions that the accuracy of the 6R15 is fairly poor, especially comparing it to a Casio or to the third watch, Citizen AV0020-55H, a quartz chronograph in titanium, a very convenient watch. He has another Casio GMW. I'm not very up to date with the Casios. GMW B5000G that he gave to his eldest daughter, and he has Orient EM75002D1 that he bought for his late father. Good looking watch. So Pavel has pretty much 4 tool watches, very usable for daily life. And right now he's looking at something with a better mechanism. He's thinking Longines Spirit or a Breitling diver, or maybe even a Seiko Marine Master, the SLA 023. He likes the bezel, he feels it's convenient. So we've exchanged another email, and I understand a bit better his intentions here. He would like a chronograph, for example, the big eye from Longines, but he's a bit worried of the running costs, which is fair. It's going to be probably higher than a simple diver, very solid. However, you know, the value-based chronographs are usually pretty tough. But down the line, yeah, there'll be a slightly more cost. However, you know, it would be a nice addition. So let's not discount it totally. But I think his main focus is on divers, and after all, they're very easy to use as chronographs on the fly. I tend to forget to stop the chronographs myself when I use them. So I quite like divers. If I had to have only one watch between a Speedy and a Submariner or a Sea Dweller, I would pick my Sea Dweller. So anyway, between his choices there, I think the Longines, yeah, solid movements, ETA movements, reworked for Longines. The one I have is extremely accurate, actually, the ETA. But I have it in the Longines Legend Diver, which would be my preference compared to that Spirit watch, which doesn't really say anything to me. The only thing with the Legend Diver is it's a bit bigger at 42, which Pavel says is fine for his wrist, but it's all polished. It's a real first reissue of an old model that came out on the market quite a few years ago, and then all the brands followed after that. So that would be quite a nice watch, but maybe a bit too flashy, and the bezel has to be unscrewed to be used, so it's not as usable on the fly. Moving on, Breitling. Let's never discount Breitling. Lots of very cool models, whether it's the Seawolf, Super Ocean 2. I like them all. I like the old Super Ocean with a bit of color on the around the dial, different colors. I like the yellow one, And those you can pick them up for 2,000 US probably, maybe even less. I don't know really the market in Russia. You see on Chrono 24, all the cheaper prices are always in Russia, but they don't ship abroad. So hopefully on the local market you can pick those watches at a good price. So I like them. I like the Super Russian too. Breitling, is a good brand, but you're saying yourself there's no spark in them. About the Seiko Marine Master, beautiful, very bombastic watches. They wear very easily. Actually, they're just a bit tall and quite heavy, but you have a nice adjustment in the clasp. The movement is Grand Seiko level of quality, maybe not adjusted as well as what they do at Grand Seiko, but the polishing is amazing. Quality movement, quality watch. Long run though, yeah, maintenance is probably going to be a bit more costly, but it's not like it's going to break after a week. It's quite a wonderful watch. But you already have a Seiko Marine Master 200. I would leave it there and maybe look a bit beyond that. Now the watch that Pavel really loves is the Omega Seamaster, and back when he fell in love with them in the early 2000s, it was the Seamaster Professional 2254.50 with the broad hands. There was a quartz version, there was a mechanical version, and myself, I do love those broad hands, which are a bit like the older Seamaster, the vintage ones. I think those are beautiful. Now, always the investigative person that I am today, I went on a little watch safari and I focused on those older Seamasters, and I found a couple that are interesting. One that you know already, the GMT version, very cool there. There's a black version, there's a gray version, and those come around under $3,000, and they're fairly thin because they run an ETA movement. Another one that I found that was really, really beautiful in person was the America's Cup edition, which you can also find starting on Chrono 24 at $2,000, and around under 2,000 there's a few available. The one I saw had a bit of damage, it was watch only, but the beauty of it really struck me. That's also a very flat watch, so obviously not running Omega thick caliber, which means it runs on an ETA, probably 2892 is going to be quite flat. But the bezel was really beautiful, reminded me of the Yacht Master type of bezel, and it has that very manly, very classic Seamaster bracelet. So if you can find something like that, I think that would really make you super happy. It's a classic, it's not outlandish, and I think the service wouldn't cost too much. I know you like the new Omegas with the Meta certification. Yeah, of course, it's great. Magnetic resistance is great in the daily life with computers, iPads, or even a lady's bag closing mechanism has a very strong magnet in it. But demagnetizing an Omega costs nothing. You just go to the shop, they do it. Takes just really 10 seconds. But as you say, you don't want to spend too much. You don't have oligarch money. We all wish we had, and so Rolex is also a bit out of the question. But really, I like that idea of the 2254 professional, if you can still find one in very good condition. I want to give you two other options. First, staying with Omega, I would go for the first version of the Planet Ocean, basically the Daniel Craig James Bond watch. Every time I see one, I'm always drawn to it, and the earlier ones had an ETA movement. They were thinner, just beautiful, whether it's the monochromatic ones or the ones with dashes of orange, all the way to the ones with an orange bezel, and even the whole orange rubber strap. I find those incredibly fetching, very manly, still very discreet, and probably so well built. You'll never have any trouble with those. They probably come in different sizes. And anyway, you have a wrist strong enough, as you told me. So I think that would be absolutely smashing. And the hands, they're in between the broad hands and the skeletonized hands. Now the other option to me would be the Tudor Pelagos in titanium, of course, with the snowflake, the squared indices. That one has so much cool in it, probably the coolest model that Tudor makes, and it's one that doesn't copy anything, and yet it is sort of part of the Rolex family. I really like the one, especially with the left-handed crown. Why not? It's a bit cool, and you have the red date. I think it's a roulette. Very cool, and the clasp has a unique extension system as well. So that one, you can probably find it within your budget, and I think it would tick all the boxes. It will be sufficiently discreet, it will be competent, it has a great depth rating, just everything, little flashes, little dashes of color, a bit of red, great lume, of course. Titanium is going to wear great. They're a bit bigger, but I think that won't be any issue for you. So yeah, either the Omega Planet Ocean, that would be my first choice, or the Tudor, and then a Seamaster, as you suggested yourself, 2254. Really, I think you know where you should be going. I wouldn't add any more Casio. Don't add any more Seiko. You have enough, and move on to the next level. I think Omega or Tudor will have you covered. So Pavel, спасибо большое. Thank you everybody for watching the video, and I'll speak to you in the next one. If you have any great suggestion, especially if you live in Russia and you know the market and the prices, please put your suggestions in the comments for Pavel. Bye bye guys.